Mecklenburg County health leaders confirming more than a dozen cases of an intestinal parasite behind a nationwide outbreak. There are 18 cases in Mecklenburg County, more than 200 cases in North Carolina. WBTV's Darion Henderson spoke with county health leaders.
Well, he joins us now live from West Charlotte. And Darion, local health officials, they're alarmed by these cases here?
Yeah, I just spoke with medical director Dr. Bonnie Coyle. Now, she says 18 cases here in Mecklenburg County for this time of year isn't too alarming, but she says that does not mean that you should let your guard down. She's also given a bit of perspective as well as to where exactly these cases are coming from. Dr. Coyle says that at least 60% of the cases here in Mecklenburg County came from international travel to Mexico and Central America. Health officials say the small parasite is infecting people through contaminated food like fresh fruits and veggies and through water. Dr. Coyle says the illness may last a few days to over a month. Watery diarrhea with frequent and sometimes explosive bowel movements is the #1 sign that you may be sick. States like California are advising residents to stay away from fruits and veggies, but Dr. Coyle doesn't believe that's needed here in Mecklenburg County just yet.
Certainly prudent to be a little more cautious and maybe pull the produce that would be most associated, just to be extra careful. But since we haven't identified a particular product, to do an actual recall and say, okay, raspberries that were processed in this area or came through this location in our country need to be pulled, that might be a little premature.
So here's how you can protect yourself. Health officials say make sure to wash your hands, fruits, and veggies thoroughly with warm water. You should also make sure to frequently clean your cooking surfaces and countertops. And last, make sure to store your cooked fruits and veggies within 2 hours. Now, to be clear, health officials are making very clear this afternoon that you cannot move this disease from human to human contact, so that's good news. But if you feel that you are sick, you are advised to contact your doctor. We're now live here in West Charlotte. Darion Henderson, WBTV, on your side.